All right, good morning, guys. Quick little Fleabay edition. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, but there again, after I did the last one, why I got to looking at what was on here over the weekend, and there's a few things worth looking at. Now, in my save list, I'd saved a Atlas TH42 lathe. They wanted $1,500 for. Um, Solo's been around for a while. Don't know, haven't investigated them very much. Don't see much, if anything, in this, in the area of Atlas stuff that we look for. But here's a TH42 lathe. Price was $1,500. 3 and 4 jut chuck, some tooling with threading gears. Excellent shape with drive unit and motor. Removed from shop in working condition. Local pickup only. Possible shipping via Fastenal Blue Lane Freight. Request a quote. Now, like I say, this was listed for $1,500, and I saved it to the watch list just because I probably looked at this in the last Fleabay edition and didn't think exceptionally highly of it just from a price standpoint. I did receive an offer of $1,300 for it. Now, this lathe, and we'll look at the big pictures here very quickly. Complete lathe. Now, we're not seeing from this picture, but they show a horizontal countershaft assembly and a factory Atlas motor on it. This lathe is actually fairly complete for a original condition lathe. So, excuse me, even though we see quite a bit of wear on the bed and things like that, why it's actually, I'm not going to beat up this lathe condition-wise because it looks like it's pretty much original. Not in really beat up condition. Like I say, a lot of wear in the bed from looking at it. Handles look to be complete, I believe. Pretty complete lathe. It's a Timken bearing headstock. You can tell that from the Gitz oilers on top, and only one of them. We don't have any caps like would be on the Babbitt bearing models. So the only thing that that even flags for me is when we look down here at the lead screw support on the tailstock end. This, I think, is probably just a bigger washer been added or something, probably to take up some end play in there. So that was probably not original. Normally those were a pretty clean setup there from all the ones I've seen. So other than that, not a bad lathe. I think it's still too high priced. It's a TH42, so it's only a 42-inch bed lathe, which probably doesn't detract from it on this size of a machine. $800 is probably what it is, what I would value it as. So anyway, that's actually, we could have looked at the rest of the pictures very quickly. I kind of got hung up on this one. Got some corrosion, or a little bit of rust. That will probably clean up. Got badging on it, original switch. The handles don't look to be broken. Everything looks to be like it's a fairly complete, clean machine. So missing the oil dropper there, but other than that, not a bad looking machine. Probably well worn, but nonetheless, pretty original machine. So there's our Atlas motor, countershaft assembly. This is a horizontal countershaft. So you can't tell anything about, how the wiring's done, what needs to be redone, or that type of thing. Probably almost looks like it's just been cut off here, and that wire's pretty well ragged, but nonetheless, something to look at, but too much money. Anyway, that was the offer we've gotten so far. So not a whole lot to look at today. There's a couple of sellers that flagged pretty quickly to me. Here's a horizontal milling table. This is the table that goes on the milling machine. We're looking at mill stuff here. $175, $81.04 shipping. And Solo's been around a while. There again, don't really recognize them. Just going to stay with the big pictures. A lot of staining on this bed. We got a couple of dinks here that they show in later pictures. There again, this is actually a pretty nice bed, other than those two marks and all of this staining, and that is fairly heavy. That's not all going to clean up. You're going to have a usable table, but it's going to be kind of ugly. There's nothing else here with it. This is sat around, a lot of rust down in there, type of thing. Clean up to be usable. No cherry, nothing I'd really want over what I already had. You know, that's all. It's been sitting around, and that's yuck. That's yuck. You don't want to give that much money for it. These beds like this, you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna spend $80 shipping, it's only worth another 75 or 80 bucks. You know, it's not worth what I've seen here the last couple of days that I've been looking at this stuff. Is what they're wanting for these things. They're worth half of that. You know, a realistic price will be half, and I kind of noticed that all the way down the line. Here's a Atlas M1 mill crank handle and screw. No, it's not. It may have been on a Atlas machine. This is a pretty new seller. Not much feedback here. Atlas M1 mill crank handle and screw. Screw appears to be square thread or Acme and appears only has surface rust and is in great shape with little or no wear. This is a piece of shit. 125 bucks. No, this guy's already started smoking dope. This is not an original handle. This is somebody's handle they stuffed on there. That screw is rusted to crap. You don't even want to look at this piece of junk. Don't even look at it. This is what you want on your weir box out in your field where you're changing the irrigation on it. This is a valve that opens and closes this should be the valve handle that you use to open and close the weir box when you're diverting water in your pasture. That's all this is good for. This is a piece of crap. Anyway, let's move on from that very quickly. We've talked about everything else that's newly listed here. We go to shapers. Atlas shapers. I don't believe there's anything here. Nope, absolutely nothing that we haven't already talked about in the last couple of days. Okay, underlays. Armstrong Atlas press. I'm not going to go in and look at these other than just I'll flash the picture that's here on the thumbnail. Armstrong Atlas press tool post wrench for metal lathe, pre-owned, $24.99. Buy it now, free shipping. No, these handles are worth 10 bucks. Don't give more than 10 bucks and $5 shipping. $15 in your door. Okay. Next one down, Armstrong Atlas Craftsman M6-115 metal lathe carries tailstock wrench, mint, pre-owned, $27.95 and $5 shipping. Nope. 15 bucks in your door, $10 and $5 shipping. Don't give any more than that. Now, I think I talked about a way overpriced faceplate for the Atlas. Now here is and I don't think we'll go in and look at this either. This is a 6-inch faceplate from looking at the scale on the front. Atlas Craftsman lathe faceplate, pre-owned, $30, zero bids, $15 shipping. 30, 35, maybe 40 bucks is a good price for this faceplate, and then that $15 shipping is fair. So it's on a bid thing. Don't drive those prices up. Now this faceplate, I guess we could look at it. This faceplate has been well used. You look, it's got a whole bunch of holes that have been drilled in it. Most of these, you know, they may have had some of the factory holes, but not all of them. So 6-inch faceplate. There's the back side of it. Yeah, part of these, I guess, were factory holes. There's a couple of drive dog holes, it looks like. Maybe here and here, and here and there. So it's been drilled, you know, which that's the way they're designed to be. That's what they're designed for. But, you know, I wouldn't get overly concerned about it. But, you know, $30, $40 in shipping is a good, reasonable price. See, this is a seller that's been around a little bit, don't really recognize the name. Used Atlas 10-12-inch lathe, 1.25 8 thread. L4T-16. Please look at picture. Ship only to lower 48 states. So, you know, that one's worth keeping an eye on for a reasonable amount of money. Don't get into a bidding war. Don't drive this up over 50 bucks. It's not worth that much. You know, this looks like maybe that's all factory. Anyway, no more than 50 bucks plus shipping. Atlas 10-inch lathe, 36-inch bed, 10 or 12-inch swing, B47 pre-owned, 125 bucks or best offer and $97.04 shipping. Yeah, used beds, feet underneath them, and I don't know if this has got the feet underneath it. Look at the big pictures very quickly. Oh, that's a ragged looking bed. That's ragged. You're going to take one of these and cut it down to do like I'm doing with a set of precision centers where I've got that. It's got the rack underneath it, no feet. 50 bucks. That's all this thing's worth. If you're going to take one of these, do like I did with the factory extension bed that I have, cut it down and use it for something like precision bench centers or something. This would be worth having if you could have it in your door for 100 bucks. But no, this is a piece of crap. Why would you waste your money? What are you gaining by this? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. See what this was. This tag's even so beat to crap. Yeah, you can't tell. This is no. Piece of crap. Why waste your money? Okay. Now here we've got a seller that I noticed the other day. This is a Union Manufacturing Company 4-jaw 6-inch metal lathe chuck, 1.5 1/8 Atlas South Bend Craftsman. Condition used, $249.99 or best offer. Now this is a seller that's been around for a while. Doesn't necessarily specialize in machine tools. Looks like he specializes in junk, is what he pretty much specializes in. This chuck is off Craftsman metal lathe, 10-12 inch, has independent moving jaws, send offer. Now when you got a seller that, and he does this on several of his listings, if you've got right in your thing to send an offer, you know it's not worth what you're listing it for. I mean, we know right off the bat it's not worth that. What did we say this was? This is a 6-inch. Yeah, 6-inch chuck. $14 economy shipping, $249.99 or a make offer. So when I look at this chuck, this is pretty well rusted. You know, this isn't just light corrosion. This is pretty well rusted up. This would be a functional chuck just because it's a 4-jaw. You know, it's until they really get wallowed out and everything, a 4-jaw is going to perform at least satisfactorily. You won't have that same thing with a 3-jaw, and we'll get to that too. But it's got a lot of corrosion on it. Yes, it's a Union Manufacturing, old school type of thing, big deal. Now this is a direct mount, which does shorten them up a little bit, makes them a little bit nicer, but look at how rusted up it is here on the back end. There's no, and through your threads and everything else there's not a real good index there. This is a piece of junk. Piece of junk. By the time you clean that up, you've lost the better registration that it would have had before it got rusted up. You know, it will still function. You can still get probably good results out of it, but the threads are rusty in there when you clean those up, or even if you derust those with a derust solution, whatever the case may be, you're going to change tolerances a little bit. It's not going to register like it realistically should, so you're going to lose any repeatability if you pull it off of the spindle. What did we say, $249? There again, half that price. It's probably a fair deal at half the price. Otherwise, don't waste your money. Right below it, same seller. Union Manufacturing Company 3-jaw 4-inch metal lathe chuck, 1.5 1/8 Atlas South Bend, $229 and $14 shipping. Chuck is off at Craftsman metal lathe, 10-12 inch, has independent moving jaws, send offer. Send offer because I know it's not worth what I'm asking for it. Listed at $229, it's $110. 120 bucks. Let's see, big pictures, we're not going to waste time. Back to the first big picture. Rusted up, rusted like crazy. Those jaws are, you've got one step on them for external grabbing, got a set of 3 jaws for internal grabbing. This thing's probably wore out to start with. Next picture, look at all that rust. There again, day before yesterday when I did a Fleabay edition, I was being kind and I said, look at the corrosion on there. Well, this is a rusted up piece of crap. Got a back plate on it. Back plate's probably worth more than the chuck is actually. Still rusted up. Not as bad as that direct mount 4-jaw that he was selling before, but this is a piece of crap. Piece of crap. Crap, crap, crap. Why would you want this junk? Look at all that rust. 100 bucks. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Atlas Craftsman metal lathe bed, 942 casting. It's got feet underneath it, pre-owned, 224.99 and 111.38. Nope, this is junk. Same seller. Same seller. Send offer. Send offer. It's not worth 225 bucks. This with the feet underneath it, and look at how rusted it is. This is a piece of junk. Big pictures. Look at all this rust down here. Look at all that rust. Got enough of the paint slaking off here. This is a piece of junk, all rusted under the headstock. Look at all that rust in there. You're going to spend a week cleaning it up and it's still going to be wore out. I don't know why we're even looking at this. 42-inch bed. Craftsman 42-inch bed. Look at all the rust under where the headstock's at. This is a piece of crap. Look at that. Boy, I'd be proud to own that. I'd be ashamed to try and sell that. Just torch cut that one up. All rusted on here. You can't tell how wore it is because it's rusted too bad. Yeah, piece of crap. Pass. Pass, pass, pass. About 110 bucks in your door. 10-12-inch lathe cross-slide screw handle, $34.99 and $8 shipping. Same seller. No, that's a cast iron handle. Somebody's iteration of a knob on there. This is another piece of junk. Look at the big picture here. Yep, junk. It was, I have no doubt it was on that machine, but this is not a Atlas. Not a Atlas hand wheel. Look at how big that boss is. This is a cast iron hand wheel, it appears to me. And it's a piece of crap. $34.99 and $8 shipping. Nope, junk. And he's so happy with that, or proud of that. Handle screw from a 1950s 10-12-inch metal lathe apron. He's not even willing to let you make an offer on that. Well, he does have make offer on here. No, you don't even want that one. If you need a cast iron hand wheel for something that you can modify that to fit, then it's probably worth 15 bucks. Lathe cross slide screw, $49.99 and $10 shipping. Same seller. Same piece of crap. Same piece of crap. Don't really even need to comment on that. We can see how well it's worn here in the bearing area. I'm sure those screw threads are all wore out. Nuts worn out. It's not even worth buying, and $10 shipping. Yeah, that's not worth buying. Not even worth buying. I won't even try and price that one. 10-12-inch metal lathe apron gearbox with case, $149, same seller, $149.99 and $10 shipping. This looks like it's for the open send offer. We know it's not worth 149 bucks, so go ahead and send us an offer. This is it's a functional gear case, but it's used and abused. See, it was rusted on the back where it was mounted. Look at those screws, how rusted out they are. You're gonna have deterioration in there. This is a piece of junk. Now this is it mounted on the apron. Look at how rusted up that apron is. Yeah, this thing is no. Why would you want this? I believe this is for the power cross feed apron, but nonetheless, it's not. These like this are worth about 50 bucks. Atlas lathe handle, 10-12-inch Craftsman hand wheel apron with gear, pre-owned, $59.99. Same thing as we just looked at. Nope, not worth it. Now here is a set of 9 Atlas Craftsman 6-inch metal lathe change gears. Read description. 100 bucks plus $11.40 shipping. Now this is for a 6-inch. And I did not look at these. This is for a seller that's been around a little while and nobody I really recognize. What's it say? I think this is for a 6-inch lathe, but not sure. So if you have any questions, please contact. Let's look at these. I don't know that I'm going to recognize them either. Yeah, we could look at them a little bit closer. I would guess those probably are a set of change gears for Atlas, in which case that may not be a bad price. Just initially looking at them, the gear teeth look pretty good. You know, you're kind of guessing if that's actually what they are. Somebody that deals in the 6-inch more than I do is going to know better than that. But realistically, if that is what they are, then that's not a bad price. You're getting 9 change gears for your $100, $111.40 with shipping. So we're under that. We're under that $15 a piece for gears. So that may not be a bad. That may not be a bad deal. I've got those in my watch list. We'll keep an eye on that. Atlas Craftsman 10-12-inch lathe tailstock topcast L3-5 pre-owned, $239.99 and $20 shipping. Same seller that's got the butchered up machine he's trying to rip people off of. The let's see, what do we got? The handle, somebody else's thing. Got a live center in it that's all rusted up. This is a piece of stuff. No, not worth having. This is, you know, $75 in the door. Look at all that rust. Look at all that corrosion there. Rusted up piece of junk. $75 in the door. And when we read the description, yep, send offer. Send offer because I know it's not worth what I'm asking for it. And I think we're about done. Here you Scott. I'm sure this is the same seller. Yep, same seller. I'm not even gonna look at this close. 10-12-inch lathe carriage, apron, saddle, cross slide. This is for a 12-inch. If you want to go and look at this, it's the same seller. The handles, somebody's changed out piece of something or other. It's not original. All rusted up on the on the bare surfaces and stuff. $100, $100. Here is on down here, and then we're gonna, let's see, we got a couple of things here. And I'm not gonna go in, I'll just call them out. Oh yeah, there is. This is a different seller. We got a few things here worth looking at maybe. Let me get down to them. Here is a Craftsman Atlas mini lathe. This is a 6-inch. This is one of the earlier. This is before the square head. Looks to be a complete 6-inch lathe. They're wanting $1,100 for it. I think that's too much, but the lathe itself doesn't look too bad. I see a busted handle off on the compound, or a handle busted off on the compound. I see some corrosion stuff. What's the description say? Yeah, just an Atlas Craftsman mini lathe. This is a red one, painted up red. Busted off handle on the compound. No cross slide screw. Looks like it may have a milling attachment back there that probably goes with it. Yeah, it's rusted up, grungy tailstock, or the lead screw support on the tailstock end has been replaced. It looks like it doesn't match the rest of it. Good basic machine, I think. I mean, who knows how much wear is in it. If it was yeah, it's pretty grungy looking in there. If it was listed for a decent price, which I would say about $600, why this would probably be a nice little lathe for somebody starting out. We don't have any covers back here on the motor, and who knows whose motor or what motor that is. Quite a bit of corrosion on it. It would clean up and be a nice little starter lathe, you know. About a $600 machine. Um, 10-inch lathe apron complete, B47. Now this is a seller that's been around for a while. Atlas 10-inch lathe apron complete, 10F-9A, B47, $250 or best offer and $25.17 shipping. What's the description say? 10-inch lathe apron complete, 10 includes what is in the pictures. Well, it's not worth 250 bucks. Not worth 250 bucks. Big pictures. All we're doing is big pictures. Power cross feed. You know, for a used apron, looks decent. Handles no great shakes. Got quite a bit of pitting on it and everything. Backside, it's got all the gearing and everything. Looks like somebody's added a little bit of grease, maybe a little bit of red. Now I would speculate that the threads are shot in there. They look pretty thin. You know, 125 bucks is, I would say, that's about what that's worth. About half of what they're asking. You know? Same thing, saddle. They want 280 and 5563. Same seller. Let's see what's the description say. Includes what's in the pictures. 5563 shipping. So fair amount of rust on there. You know, pretty well rusted. It will all clean up and be functional. It does have a lead screw dial on it, or a thread dial on it. You know, appears to be relatively complete. Dust covers are there, or oil. Now we're missing one. Power cross feed, 150 bucks. 150 bucks. They're not worth any more than that. You know, why would you spend more? Not worth 280 and 55 shipping. Now here, and this is the same sellers that we just now looked at. Atlas 10-inch lathe, 64-tooth gear 9101-64A gear with 20-tooth gear 9101-20A. Condition used, $19.99 and $10.90 shipping. Now that puts a pair of gears at 30 bucks, which I say is within what I'm willing to pay. The problem I have with this is when you start looking at these gears, some of these look pretty thin. So they've been shark toothed up. Now, what this also indicates to me is this this all came from the same lathe, I'm assuming, because I have not seen this seller listing parts and stuff. It looks like that's pretty well chewed up. So that would indicate that this all came from the same lathe. So if the gears and some other components that end up being pretty ragged looking, if this one looks bad like this, then this is an indication of the condition of the rest of the lathe. So I would say this lathe has been pretty well abused. You know, look at the teeth, give you some indication of what's actually happened to them. And it's kind of tough to tell. Maybe if we zoomed in we could see a little bit better, but some of these look pretty ragged, pretty thin through here. They've been shark toothed up a fair amount, and I would probably stay away from all of these parts. I think you're not getting anything really worth having there. Same way, compound gear assembly, $9.99 or best offer. So look at these and look at how ragged these look. So yeah, all of the and I'm not going to bother to look any closer at it than just these two pictures. Now this one you can hover on. Yeah, look at the. Oh, we don't want to hover that. Okay, let's get this up here where we can see it. Look at how hard these are rolled over. This is junk. This is junk. Junk. Don't waste your money. Not worth having. Not worth having. Not gonna look any farther than that. So you got another one down here. 10-inch lathe, 56 tooth, 9101 56A with 20 tooth gear, 9101-20A, 22 bucks and $7.55 shipping. We're back to that same sellers, back to that 35 bucks. Now you do have the little assembly that's got the square-headed bolt and all of the goodies that hold them together. But I speculate when we look at these are probably, those look awful thin to me. Those teeth look awful thin. So I think they've not been adjusted right when they were run. I think it's all pretty ragged. So you're better off just to stay away from them. So I think that's all I really wanted to look at today. I've got work to do today. Got to play with that new sand mower a little bit and a few other things. So there we go. Anyway, hopefully you find this useful. And comments, suggestions, leave them in the comments section for me below. And as always, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch.